Howdy folks,
I deserve this.
and welcome to another episode of Mingles with Jingles. Maybe now Rita's involved, I should be calling it Mingles with Ringles.
Alright, I will accept that. It's not a bad one.
So, yeah, you know what, I'm going to start off this episode with a plug. But it's not a plug for me. Well, technically it is, but it isn't. So, about a week ago, a package arrived in the post. I thought, the hell? It's not from Amazon. What's going on? This is Forgotten Tanks and Guns of the 1920s, 30s and 40s, written by David Lister. And right underneath his name at the bottom there, edited by Paul Charlton.
Very good.
Technically I didn't really edit it, I proofread it for him. I made a couple of suggestions, but yeah. So, hey, my name in print, I think for the first time. So, that's nice. And this is, as the name would suggest, Forgotten Tank Designs. He starts off talking about the infamous, legendary Japanese super heavy tank project. And then he goes through all of the various different things like, well, for example, British infantry tanks from the 1920s right through at the end of the Second World War. A huge variety of guns, rocket launchers, super heavy tanks, countless pieces of specialised armour. So there you go. I'm sure you can probably buy it on Amazon. I'm not sure. £20 for the hardback version. Published by Pen and Sword. So you can probably order it from their website, www.penandsword.co.uk. So there we go. Plugged.
We can check on links to put on the description.
We could.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sure at some point when I get round to editing this, if it is available, I'll put it where it's available from. So yeah, hey, nice one, Dave. You got yourself published at last. Well done. Last week we talked about online cheating, risen by 50%, and Destiny 2 over the course of 3 months. It turns out it were infinite ammo hacks, and as we said, we had no idea why. And in the comments of last week's video, people responded it's PvP, because a lot of the guns in Destiny 2, the more powerful guns, are balanced in PvP by having very limited ammunition.
Alright.
So if you've got an infinite ammo hack,
yeah, alright.
For cheating in PvP,
yeah,
basically.
I get it.
Yeah, yeah, that figures. That makes sense. So yeah, that happened. So,
what shirt are you wearing today?
Oh,
yes, I forgot about. Should be a segment.
US Colonial Marines. I think I got this from lastexittonowhere.com.
All right.
They pitched up at Comic-Con in London a couple of times, and they had a stand there. I can't remember if I got this from Comic-Con or whether I ordered it from them online, but I knew about them before I went to Comic-Con.
That one you got at Comic-Con.
I got this one at
Comic-Con. Because I have my own version.
Yes. Oh, that's right. I got two.
Yes.
One for you.
Yes.
Yeah. Fair enough. So there you go. Speaking of which, Mcm London Comic-Con was supposed to have been happening this month. Unsurprisingly, they haven't said it's been cancelled yet. They've postponed it to July. I think it's going to get cancelled.
It's cancelled unless they change location, because apparently it's an NHS hospital now. The expo, where they have the convention, is
the expo centre.
Yes, I think it's called
XL London.
NHS Nightingale, something like that.
So they've turned it into an emergency hospital
for these pernicious times.
Yeah.
Yes.
So MCM London is cancelled. I was going to go as one of the Sons of Anarchy, because nice and simple and easy and relatively cool. I don't know if you've seen the Sons of Anarchy. Basically, it's an American Hell's Angels club. So I've got the leather waistcoat, the patches, and so on. I bought the bandana, and I've got the Ray-Ban aviator sunglasses, and the belt and t-shirt and everything, and of course cancelled.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a bummer. They haven't officially said it's cancelled yet, and they keep trying to. I keep getting emails from them talking about pop culture stuff that's going on. Like they're desperately trying to remind everybody that MCM still exists.
Yeah, yeah.
It's going to get cancelled. Watch this space. So one of the things that I've been doing to keep myself occupied during the lockdown is scale modelling. You have probably noticed that Wednesdays lately have been devoted to scale modelling videos. Most of you don't like it, and well, tough shit. But supplies have been running low. Unsurprisingly, paints and scale modelling and hobby supplies are not really at the top of everybody's priority lists when it comes to restocking. And Games Workshop's website, for example, has basically been out of stock online, not trading.
It's crazy.
Because they couldn't get staff into the warehouses, obviously, for obvious reasons. Well, on Friday the 1st of May, because I had been running a little bit low on certain supplies, things like Skill in a Bottle, Nuln Oil, for example, one of their shade paints, and their web store reopened on Friday. So straight away I was like, yeah, get in there and order some stuff. You had to go into a queue to get into their web store. It's like the entire world was trying to buy Space Marines on Friday, and I had to sit in a queue waiting to actually get onto a web page. And once I was on, I was only allowed there for 30 minutes, and then I was going to be logged out and back into the queue if I wanted to get back in again. So I think it's probably safe to say that Games Workshop aren't really losing an awful lot of money.
No, they're probably one of those few businesses that are just like, yay!
Yeah.
With the situation.
Oh, wow.
But if you're interested, I mean, I have a whole box of Dark Elder.
Yeah, I've got a shit ton of stuff. Yeah, they're fine. You assemble them, I'll paint them.
Okay.
But the problem is I'm running out of paints.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You need to listen, Rita.
I thought it was also
with your ears to the words that are coming out of my mouth.
Come on.
God, I need this. Right, anyway. So I was looking, and again, unsurprisingly, no, I'll take this one at a time. So obviously, game development has been taking a hit as much as anything else with the lockdown. And gaming news, much as in last week and the week before, has been pretty slow. However, I today heard the news that World of Warcraft Shadowlands, which is currently in closed alpha, is going to have ray tracing available as an option.
Why?
Why? Just think about that for a minute. Ray tracing, only available on the latest high-end graphics cards, and World of Warcraft.
How long has that game been out for? When was the last UI, freshening updated?
Well, they keep adding little incremental updates to the graphics engine, but it's always going to look cartoony because then you can run it on a ham sandwich. Right? You don't need a powerful PC or the latest generation of graphics cards to run World of Warcraft. You look at other games that came out, like was it Conan, Age of Conan?
Conan Exiles?
Conan Exiles is one
is
of the newer
one
ones.
That we played
that's
together?
Yeah, no, that's. But we're talking about games that came out around about the same time.
Ah, the same time. Okay.
Other MMOs that came out around about the same time.
Yes.
As World of Warcraft, which I don't know, it's got to be 15, 16 years old now.
Gee.
So something like Age of Conan, which at the time looked amazing, and within 2 years looked like shit because graphics technology dates really quickly. But World of Warcraft, they deliberately made
it cartoonish. It makes it almost like Immortal. Doesn't care. Not Immortal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, Immortals. It doesn't date. It doesn't age.
Yes, exactly.
It looks
more
or less the same as it did
now.
15 years ago.
Yeah.
And you can run it on, a pocket calculator.
Yeah.
You know what a pocket calculator is, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
just
still
checking.
from those times. Okay.
So why the hell would you want ray traced shadows? I mean, I'm sure if you've got the latest graphics cards and you've got the option, you might like to have ray traced shadows in World of Warcraft, but it's not exactly. I mean, the latest Call of Duty game supports ray shading. Well, yeah,
makes
great.
sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Great graphics. But World of Warcraft, it's like, it's the graphics have stood the test of time because they're so crude. It's like Team Fortress 2. You look at something like Counter-Strike and the graphics have, although people don't play Counter-Strike for the graphics, but you get the idea, the graphics look dated. But Team Fortress 2 looks as fresh now as the day it came out because they went for that specific cartoony style.
Yep.
And they're probably not they probably don't have introducing ray tracing high on the list of priorities. So it's just one of those things that I saw in the news and I thought, huh? Why? But there it is. Like I said, it's been yet another slow news week. Now, of course, May the 4th is fast approaching.
Alright.
Which is, it's been co-opted as International Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you.
Alright.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm aware of it.
Have you all heard the outroar that's erupted on Twitter when Disney decided that they owned everybody's Star Wars tweets?
Yeah, oh, it hasn't been just that, Paul. It's been like a proper fest.
So, yeah. On Monday, last week, their Disney Plus business Twitter account encouraged users to share their favourite Star Wars memories on Twitter. The only problem was that they included this statement in the tweet. And I'm quoting, "By sharing your message with us using hashtag May the 4th, you agree to our use of the message and your account name in all media on our terms of use here." URL to the terms of use. The terms of use then went on to state that the company can use your user-generated content royalty-free and without any limit. So basically, if you tweeted with hashtag May the 4th, Disney was saying, that's ours. Unsurprisingly, the internet didn't like that. There was a particular response which is doing the rounds. Somebody replied to it with the hashtag May the 4th. "My favourite Star Wars memory would have to be the time Disney tried to lay legal claim to every tweet on Twitter that used a particular hashtag."
Yeah, as of lately they have been a little bit shaky, the things in there.
What, Disney in general, or
Disney, but also Star Wars.
are we talking about Kathleen Kennedy here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I'm so sick and tired of hearing about Kathleen Kennedy, but go on.
No. I don't want to go too much into it because I wouldn't be able to properly explain unless I prepared myself in advance.
Yeah.
It's something that involves a lot of PC culture and it needs to be very well studied and put out there in a very concise manner, and I'm not ready for that.
There are certain websites out there and YouTube channels that just seem to, like, every couple of days there's a new video out about how Kathleen Kennedy is about to get fired.
Yes.
And this has been going on for like a year. And she's still in charge of Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
No matter how much they wish for it, and trust me, I'm with them on this. I cannot wait to see the back of that woman. She has done to Star Wars what Jar Jar Abrams did to Star Trek.
Amen.
With her Mary Sue characters and
Yeah.
the feminist agenda. I mean, it's not like Star Wars ever lacked strong female characters. Jyn Erso, Princess Leia. But, you know, I'm so sick and tired of seeing stuff about Kathleen Kennedy. We get it, she's a bitch, we hope she gets fired, but it ain't going to happen because the movies keep making money.
Apparently Disney is trying to take more control of Star Wars because the movies have been pretty much going down the drain.
How much more control can the company that owns Star Wars take over Star Wars than owning it 100%? What do you mean by...
Basically take more control of the creative side of it.
Oh, I see. Rather than because Disney owned Lucasfilm, and they put one of their executives in charge, but they're... Oh, right.
And ever since that happened, I think it was this week, some Star Wars, like it was a whole female-centered Star Wars movie.
Yeah, some writer has been... Apparently they're doing a new Star Wars TV show and it's going to be female-centric. And you know what? I don't have a problem with it being female-centric as long as it's good.
Same.
You know, I don't care if the characters are male, female, alien, you know, whatever. I do not care as long as it's well written, well acted, and it's got decent production values, like The Mandalorian. I mean, there's a...
Oh, Mandalorian is so good.
I can't remember the name of the character or the actress who plays her, but she was I think she was a wrestler, Gina somebody, and she's a bounty hunter or mercenary.
The one that he met at the bar.
Yeah.
Yes, I liked her.
I loved her character.
Yeah, she was nice.
I thought she was great in Deadpool as well.
Oh, was she in Deadpool?
Yeah, she was one of the bad guys. There was the scene where they're at the end having a fight because they could only afford two of the X-Men, so they got Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and Gina Carano was fighting Colossus, and he punched her, and one of her tits popped out. they didn't show it, and Colossus was like, oh, excuse me, and she took that opportunity to punch him in the nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, great. I really loved her character in The Mandalorian, and The Mandalorian as a whole I thought was just amazingly well done. And I didn't care that The Mandalorian was male. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter.
Just as long as the writing is good, the history is good.
Yeah. But you get all these basement-dwelling troglodytes, and I'm not saying that they don't have anything to be upset about, because, you know, Disney has ruined Star Wars, with the exception of The Mandalorian.
Oh, Mandalorian. Can't wait for season 2.
And Rogue One. But it's like they're at the other end of the spectrum. You know, they're complaining about how women are taking everything over, and you've got Rey from Star Wars, who's basically a Mary Sue. Right? She can never fail. She never does anything wrong. She never loses a fight. She's got no story arc in the way that Luke Skywalker did in the original trilogy, who was weak and had vulnerabilities and weaknesses, and he learned and he grew. Rey doesn't grow. She starts off invincible and she ends invincible. Yeah. And I appreciate that, you know, people are upset because Disney's basically destroyed Star Wars, but blaming it all on a feminist agenda. You know, they're just as bad as the people that they're trying to bring down. They're just at the other end of the spectrum. I mean, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. Why does it matter? Just make good movies and TV shows. That's all we ask.
There is this very. It's almost like a phrase that is being passed around. Like, if you go woke, you go broke. And comic books, they have been struggling for the very same reason. Well, Marvel is in some deep trouble, monetary trouble at the moment. Because of that? That's one of the reasons. There's another reason, but I can't remember the name of the company, but something to do with Gem. But all comics in America are distributed through one distributor. Wow. They've got complete control, a complete monopoly. Wow. And they're basically holding the comics industry to ransom. All right. And that's one of the major reasons why comics and comic book stores are basically closing down all across America, because they've got no stock to sell. So yeah, but there's whole other issues that we can go into on that. If you care, and I do encourage you to check it out, Google it and find out. It's very interesting. But yeah, it's amazing that there's something else I read which astounded me. I mean, yeah, the fact that all comic books in America are distributed through one distribution company, unbelievable. But also the Federal Communications Commission, their own commissioners are calling bullshit on the Federal Communication Commission's report into internet bandwidth in the USA. They recently commissioned a report, and I didn't write any of this down, so I'm only going from memory, that was trying to investigate how much improved the internet broadband service was across the USA. Yeah. And the report concluded that only 18 million Americans didn't have access to broadband. Only 18? Oh. Wow. I mean, we've been spoiled rotten in Europe. Yeah. I mean, wow. But, I mean, it's a massive population, but still 18 million, it's a lot. However, the problem is that because of the way the report was conducted, or the way the survey was conducted, so for example, and again, don't quote me precisely here, but if a lot of the broadband providers, and by the way, broadband in America is 25 megabit download or more. Okay. Right, only 25 megabits, which barely qualifies as broadband here in Europe. Right. But so for a start, the broadband isn't really broadband at all, because of the download speed. And there goes the hydroponic system. And no, don't worry, we'll edit this out. Turn it off, Rita. Oh my god. The only way to shut it up is give it water. 1 second.
And now for a word from our sponsors. Don't worry, I'll edit this out.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
I'm totally not going to edit this out.
Please, Paul.
That ass.
Oh, come on. Paul, edit this out. Okay, should quiet down.
I'll edit this out, yeah. Don't worry.
Paul.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
On that note, On that note, while I'm standing up, can I take a book out I would like to show?
Well, come on then.
Yes, alright.
But shall I just finish what I was talking about first?
Give me a second first. Just moving some things out of the way.
Never work with children or animals.
Alright. I'm ready.
Yeah. So anyway, the way the survey was conducted, apparently there were various census groups that the survey was conducted across, and if a broadband provider was able to honestly say that at least one person within that census group was capable, whether they could afford it or not was irrelevant, but as long as they theoretically had access to broadband, everybody in that census group was counted.
Yeah.
So what they reckon, and the Federal Communication Commission's own commissioners, well, some of them, because it's all split politically. You've got like Republican commissioners at one end, Democrat commissioners at the other end. But some of the commissioners have come out and said the survey is bullshit. The report that was based on the survey is bullshit, because we can spin the numbers the other way. If that's how they're gathering their data, then we could say it's at the other end of the spectrum, and up to 216 million Americans don't have access to broadband internet. And you can't disprove that number any more than we can disprove the 18 million number.
Yeah.
So, great time to live in Europe.
It's the same as, Chernobyl, only, how to say, officially only 31 people died.
Oh,
from
yeah.
it.
Depends how you spin the numbers.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's this book you wanted to show us?
Yes, well, we were talking about comic books, and I just wanted to show them my biggest female inspiration, my biggest female, like, strong character that as a kid, this was the first comic books I've ever got access to.
This was who you looked up to and
Yes.
wanted to be when you were a girl.
Yes.
Right.
And it's Tomb Raider. Jingles actually gifted me this book about a year and a half ago.
I think
2 years.
It was a bit more than that.
Because I had been searching for the old copies of Tomb Raider and I could not find them.
When we went to the USA.
Yes.
Oh, one of the times we went to
Oh,
the
I
USA.
remember that. Yeah.
We went to Red Bank, New Jersey,
Mhm.
which is the home of Bill and Jay. Bill and Jay?
Yep.
I was going to say Bill and Ted. Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash, which is Kevin Smith's comic book store, and they didn't have any Tomb Raider comics.
I was so gutted. I digged through everything in that place.
Yeah.
I asked for help. They didn't have it, and it's been a constant search. And Jingles found this book. The guy who made her in the early 2000s, he actually has died. And this is another character. Like I love so much the Tomb Raider, Lara Croft, the Tomb Raider, because she owned her sexuality. She's sexy as hell. She's hot as hell. But at the same time, she kicked ass, and she never took anything from the guys.
Didn't we talk about the Tomb Raider game? The early Tomb Raider game, the first one.
The Polygon TDs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By Core Design, published by Eidos.
Yeah.
Last week before? Can't remember.
No, we did not. I don't think we have.
Oh well, never mind.
Either way, I'm just saying, like, you can be sexy and still own up. And even Tomb Raider, I feel like she has been ruined as of lately. I mean, the comic books, they're not being run so much anymore. I think they stopped altogether.
I don't know.
But they have made books based on the game that came out, and
Yeah.
it's not the same Tomb Raider. The same thing was.
Yeah, they've
for-
reimagined. They've taken her
Yes.
back to before she
They've
was.
taken the sexiness away. I miss this.
Yes, but she can't. She's not a sex object, you know, Rita.
But I miss this, Paul.
And she's a woman,
Yes.
and that's what she wants to see.
Yes. It is but it's the same with Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn now looks more like a little girl, and before she was a bit more sexualized. And I used to read Harley Quinn comic books. I used to read from your Kindle even.
Well, the thing was, and it's funny you should say that, because there's a comics writer that I think is fantastic, and it's Gail Simon. She writes for DC, so she wrote Birds of Prey until it got really, really popular, and then she moved on, and somebody else came in, and it turned to shit. Yeah. And she wrote Harley Quinn, until it became really, really, really popular, and then she moved on to something else, and Harley Quinn turned to shit as well. And
it's a she.
And a female writer. If you're going to write a female character, I mean, you don't have to be a man. You don't have to be a woman to write a female character, because, you know, people use their imaginations, and that's what imagination's for.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were really, really good comic books. The artwork in both cases was done by a female artist, Amanda Connor. And some of them were written by her husband, Jimmy Palmiotti. And they were just fun, really good comic books. And I loved them. And I got really, really excited when the news came out about Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. Which was dog shit.
And the funny thing...
And of course everybody's... Well, go on.
The funny thing is that before that movie came out... You looking at my necklace?
Yes.
My little kitty eating pizza? Back on topic. Who made Birds of Prey? Like, no one really knows. No one really gave, pardon my French, gave a shit about it. But one of the, excuses given of why Birds of Prey flopped was because the director is a woman. It's like, she used two cards. I'm just gonna give this one out. Like, she used the excuse, "Oh, I'm a woman. This is the reason why the movie flopped." It's like, that's not the reason why the movie flopped. No one cared who you were.
She did what Elizabeth Banks did with the Charlie's Angel disaster.
Yeah. Yes.
No, it flopped because it was a bad movie.
Yeah, it was because it was exactly.
Most of the actresses were bad. The script was bad. The direction was bad, and the story was bad. So it flopped. And Elizabeth Banks came out and said, "Oh, she did that. She did what George Lucas did at Red Tails, because he produced Red Tails. He hired a black actor. I can't remember his name. I think it might have been John Singleton. I can't remember it. Right. He hired a black director to direct Red Tails, and then basically stood behind him. You watch behind the scenes, and George Lucas is literally standing behind the director, telling him what to do and how to film every scene." And then, because it was just like a comic book movie, it was terrible. Story of the Tuskegee Airmen, black American fighter pilot squadron from World War II who escorted bombers. An amazing story, and there's already been a great movie about them called The Tuskegee Airmen, but unfortunately George Lucas's Red Tails did them no justice. It was just a terrible, terrible movie, and of course it bombed. And George Lucas went on talk shows saying, "Yeah, the reason it bombed was because the white man kept it down." No, George, the reason it bombed is because it sucked. And the reason Charlie's Angels bombed was because it sucked, and the reason Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey bombed was because it sucked, not because it was directed by a woman. There are some of my favourite movies. The Hurt Locker, directed by Gaylan Hurd, who also produced Terminator and Terminator 2 and Aliens.
I have no idea of that.
Some of my favourite movies of all time. Directed and or produced by a woman. The gender has nothing to do with it. The quality of the script, the story and the direction is what matters, and unfortunately it wasn't there.
I just find ironic that it was a female creator that made Harley Quinn good.
Yeah.
And there was no problem with that, and then suddenly a movie flops, and it's because it's a film. Like, it's just ironic. It's just too.
I'm so sick of hearing the argument online all the time from both sides. You got the basement-dwelling troglodytes blaming everything because women, and then you've got the women blaming the basement-dwelling troglodytes for the failure of their. But you know, they just own your mistakes, for God's sake.
Yeah.
You sucked. Get over it. Move on. Do better next time.
Yeah.
Learn from it. But no, they're just denying. And it's not just the women. I mean, look at Rian Johnson, the director of the second Star Wars sequel movie.
Oh God, he wanted Paul. He wanted to get his hands in the Mandalorian, and everyone was like, "No, not happening. We don't want this.
Give it to Jon Favreau.
Keep him away from it."
Jon Favreau, safe pair of hands. He was the director of the original Iron Man. I still can't get over the fact that the guy who wanted to be an ultimate wrestler in Friends.
I did not watch Friends.
One of Monica's boyfriends. He was a millionaire who wanted to get into ultimate wrestling, and he's the director of Iron Man and the guy behind, or partially at least, the guy behind The Mandalorian. And he also played, I can't remember his name, but he was a character in the Iron Man movies. The guy and the spy. She's never watched them. She doesn't like superhero movies. But
no.
Anyway.
I'm a 2001 Space Odyssey type of girl.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah.
She doesn't like superhero movies. Which is, it's probably just as well, because most of them suck. Well, the Marvel ones are generally pretty good. I didn't think Captain Marvel was that bad a movie, despite detesting Brie Larson. I mean, every time... Oh, did you watch the interviews? Where they've got Brie Larson and somebody else from the Awkward as Hell.
Don't touch me! Don't touch me! I told you to not touch me!
She's trying to crack jokes, and the other ones are just like...
No. Okay, let me try to paraphrase this. That whole thing with that movie, they try to act like it's the first female strong character out there. What about Janeway? What about Ripley? Ripley, oh my god.
Princess Leia.
Princess Leia. You're late to the party. So just... yeah, anyways, let's change subject.
You know, for something that I'm sick to death of hearing about, we've talked an awful lot about it today. Yes,
we really did. We're going overboard with this. Let's change subject.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to change subject completely. So, earlier on, Rita noticed that she'd received a gift on Steam.
Oh, yeah.
And I knew the second, because as soon as I hit the, send gift, I heard her going, "Ooh!" I was like, "Don't look at it!" Because I wanted it to be a surprise for this. So, you know that you received a gift. Do you know what it was?
No.
Okay, that's good.
I just saw you received a gift. I was like, oh!
Yes. I gifted you the 2004 version of Star Wars Battlefront. You know, the good one.
The first one?
The first one.
Ooh, actually I haven't played that one. I played the 2.
Oh, it was the 2.
I played the good Battlefront 2.
Yes. We're not talking about the Electronic Arts ones.
Cut that one.
We're talking the 2004 and 2005 versions of Star Wars Battlefront. Yeah. You know, the ones that were actually... Although apparently Star Wars Battlefront 2 is pretty good now, but it took a little while. But anyway, the reason I've done this, back in 2014 when GameSpy shut down, support for online multiplayer in Star Wars Battlefront, the good one, ended. Because GameSpy hosted the multiplayer servers. And you could have these massive 64-player multiplayer battles. A lot of fun, yeah?
Yeah.
They've just reintroduced support for online 64-player multiplayer in Star Wars Battlefront. So you can play it online in multiplayer again.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it's only... I'll be surprised if it was more than a gigabyte download.
Do you want to play with me?
And you can now get it on Steam and good old games for less than £5.
Wait, that's amazing. Do you want to play with me later?
I'm not committing to nothing.
Okay. Okay, I get it. Thank you, though. Thank you.
I mean, it takes seconds to download, seconds to install. It's not like it's memory intensive. Oh, there was one other thing. Speaking of, well, it's a free game for you because I bought it. But if you've got Twitch Prime, you know, Twitch Prime are always giving stuff away.
Yeah.
And it's usually like loot crates in various games and so on and so on. But this month, I don't have the list of games. You know what? I'm going to cut this year, go away and get the list and come back.
A few minutes later.
Okay, I've got the list. Now, don't go getting too excited, okay, because you've probably never heard of most of these titles. But if you have Twitch Prime, there are 6 games that you can get for free through your Twitch Prime membership in the month of May. And they are Snake Pass, Urban Trial Playground, Avicii Invector, Pankapoo, Little Acre and Fracture Mines. Now, I've never heard of any of them.
No, either.
I'm not saying they're bad games. I don't know, because I've never heard of them. But hey, free stuff's free stuff.
Yeah.
So, if you do have your Twitch Prime membership, there are 6 entirely free new games coming out for you to just have this month. Apparently there are another 2 that are also available, but they're not available throughout all of May. They're available now anyway, and like they'll be available until May the 20th or something like that. So if you do have a Twitch Prime membership, get in there and check to see what membership benefits you're missing out on.
Alright.
And I think that's about it.
For today's week?
Yeah, I think so. Unless you've got anything else that you can think of.
I have been thinking...
We haven't really been disturbed by the cats too much. She's busy licking the crumbs off one of your plates.
Not one, just one plate. Just one plate, Paul.
How many?
Just one.
Just one plate, yes. Off that one single solitary plate down there.
It's 2 plates.
Well, it's 2 plates now, is it?
Yes. I need to take it down. I've been busy.
Busy doing what?
Drawing.
Yeah, she's drawing something that you're going to give away for charity, aren't you?
If it's any good.
It is good. It is good.
You want to show it?
I can see it now. Well, we can, I suppose. I don't know. Is that tablet thing plugged in?
You just need to pick the paper, Paul.
Okay.
And I'm being the boomer now. I just need.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Explain what it is and who it is.
Oh, me?
Well,
I thought you were asking people in the comment section. Oh my god.
Do you see what I have to work with?
Well, that's Mr. Captain, now turned into a honorary colonel, Tom Moore, and
I'll translate that into English for you.
Oui.
Captain, now an honorary colonel, who goes by the name of Tom Moore.
Yes. And he raised over 30 million quid for the NHS. He just got his 100, just turned 100 years old as well.
Yeah. How did he do it? Did he like?
Just went around the house.
Okay. So he, on his Zimmer frame, did 100 laps of his
house. That's what you call it in English. Okay, why not?
And as a result, raised £30 million for the National Health Service.
Yeah. And
so Rita's drawing him, and she's going to auction it off.
If I finish it and if it's any good, if I'm not satisfied with it, I'd rather just not do it.
It's. Go on. Let us know in the comments. What do you think so far? She's pretty good. She really is. Anyway, so she's going to be. You will be auctioning this off for charity.
Even if it's unfinished?
Well, no, you will finish it.
Okay. I'll do my best. I have not drawn in years.
Right. I'm in charge.
And
because I'm a man.
About that PC thing we were doing talking earlier. I think I've changed my mind.
I'm so gonna pay for that one later.
Yeah, I have not drawn in years, and I've never done a portrait of an elder before. So that's a first for me, and I'm not totally satisfied, but I'm trying my best.
You should have heard her complaining about the wrinkles.
Why he has to be 100 years old? So many wrinkles. Yeah.
Right.
Bless him.
That's it for this week. I think
it's been a quick one.
It has been a pretty quick one.
We need a quickie.
I've no idea how long it's been. It's not really showing. Or is it?
No, because you ended the video. You forgot.
No. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So we're 4.5 minutes into this second bit. I've got no idea how long this video is. It feels shorter than last week.
It feels very short. All week I found things to talk about, and
you didn't write them down, did you?
No, I forgot them all.
See, I don't want to hear any criticism. It's not just me. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Like I said, it's been another slow news week, but the stuff that has happened has been kind of amusing, like Disney deciding that they own all of your Star Wars tweets. Yeah. Disney are evil. I'm afraid that's just the way it is.
There were some news with The Last of Us as well. Yeah, there was some news about the leaks. I keep trying to end this video. There was some news about the plot that was leaked from The Last of Us, and all the basement dwelling troglodytes got up in arms about it, and I'm not really going to talk about it because Naughty Dog Studios, the developers of The Last of Us and the Uncharted series, have been issuing takedowns and copyright strikes and shutting down channels that so it's I don't really care. That's one way to ruin
and I don't really want to have my channel receive a copyright strike over something that I really don't care about. I care about the copyright strikes. That's something. Maybe I should.
I actually was not aware of that, so I apologize for bringing it up.
Yeah.
I was not aware.
So yeah, Naughty Dog, go fuck yourself, and that's it for this week.
Oh my God, Paul.
What?
All right. Yeah, I mean, it's your channel.
You know, if they act like a bunch of pricks, and they're going to get called a bunch of pricks. If they don't want to get called a bunch of pricks, stop acting like a bunch of pricks.
Yeah, fair
the
enough.
mathematics of the equation is very, very simple, I'm afraid. That's, you know, what can I say? I am what I am. I'm too old to change. So, oh, here we go.
Another thing I remembered.
Oh, go
I'm
on,
starting to remember things. It's the memory pills.
You couldn't remember. When was the last time you took one?
Yesterday.
Are you sure?
Yes, because
She's lying.
no. Ever since you made that video, people come on a daily basis and they tweet me, send me Facebook messages, comments saying, "Have you taken your daily pill?" And that has actually helped because now I'm starting to remember it on my own.
Yeah, you start to remember them 10 minutes after I said, and that's it for this week's episode of Mingles with Jingles. Go on.
It's a progress. It doesn't happen overnight. Yeah, people. Let me pick it up. Actually, I kept it in the room all this week, not because I have been lazy,
Oh, yes.
but because people have asked a lot. This mug, I don't know the company. Does it say something? No, it does not say anything on the bottom. It's just a logo.
Did we get that from Comic-Con?
Negative.
Okay.
I gifted you these for Christmas or birthday some
That's
years
right.
ago.
Yeah.
I don't know the company. This is the logo of them, and I bought this from Etsy, and it was basically.
Oh, right, so it's not a company, it's an individual on Etsy. Etsy is a
yes.
website where people who are into crafts and hobbies can make stuff and sell it.
Yeah, and I got this. We call it mug.
Yes.
I got this mug because it was kind of. I was trying to find something that was World of Warcraft inspired for you, and it's
Dwarf beer mug.
yes. So yeah, this is yours. Take it downstairs.
You went through all of that just to get me to dispose of and clean up your dirty dishes.
No, Paul. I was just answering people's questions.
Smash! Domestic violence. And on that bombshell, that's it for this week's episode of Mingles with Jingles. I'm not responsible for what happens after I turn the camera off. Take care. We'll catch you next time.